So tell me more about real estate industry, because I don't really know much about it. Obviously, I've come across real estate brokers. I have this kind of perception of what I perceive a real estate broker is. Am I allowed to say, like,
go for it?
A guy that's just come out of a sales job out of Essex,
probably,
and like come over here and suddenly he's an expert in how property sales should be. That's my perception.
Yes. So basically, so many people have that perception of our job and what it is. So many people, everyone thinks that.
Yeah.
But the reality is, the job is super hard. Like, this is the real reality. It's very, very hard, and there is a very, very small percentage of people. I would say, if you say in total, there's probably 6,000 brokers in Dubai.
Okay.
Classing unregistered brokers as well, because there's a lot of unregistered brokers and real brokers.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, there is probably 1% of brokers that are doing well.
Wow. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And the reason why, because we all have very, very similar things and similar traits. We're straightforward. If you're straightforward in this job and you tell people how it is, very similar to what you're saying, without all the kind of going around, there's so many agents that will be you'll go to buy a property and they're working with a chain of 6 agents. What's the point?
Yeah, okay.
It's like you're losing the transparency on every single person.
Yeah.
No one really knows who the seller is. No one has any idea about anything. It's very simple. You find a motivated seller, a seller that is serious and genuinely wants to sell.
Yeah.
Because they have a reason to sell.
Yeah.
They're leaving, or they have another project to put their money into. They have something that they need to focus on.
Yeah.
And then you go and find a serious buyer.
Okay.
But every other agent in the world, in Dubai, confuses that, and they want to go and, they list overpriced stock.
Okay.
Which will never sell, especially if the market's falling.
Okay.
Since 2014, the market has been falling in Dubai.
Yeah.
So if the market value is 4 million and an owner's asking 7 million, there's no point of taking on that listing.
Okay.
So I wouldn't take the listing on, because I value my time and how much effort goes into my day, rather than taking on listings that are way overpriced that will never sell. And ultimately the owner will end up renting the property later, or sitting on it for years. The way I help people is I do not hand over conveyancing, and 99% of agents do. So when someone actually goes to buy a property and they say, right, Jade, we're going to buy, we sign the contracts, all the other companies will go, okay, here's Mary, here's my conveyancer, deal with Mary and basically buy the house.
So you give like an
end-to-end
service?
I do.
Just
I
give
do
them like
not hand over, and the reason why, it gives control over the complete deal.
Yeah.
I will work until 11 o'clock every day.
Okay.
I can, if the buyer is sitting at home panicking at 9 p.m. like, oh my god, is this right? Is this okay?
Yeah.
They can call me.
Okay.
If it's another broker, they're going to call them and say, oh, speak to Mary tomorrow at 9 a.m. because Mary's on a paid salary, so she's not going to answer the phone, right?
Yeah.
So there's many more ways you can add value to people's life, and just by being transparent, like you're saying,
Exactly
forget all of the, but give them an actual true overview of what's happening.
Yeah.
Don't just say my product is the best and drill it into them. Tell them, actually, no, these are your comparables, these are other areas which are also good.
Yeah.
But you ultimately make the decision. Don't be pushy for one product. So we're doing a lot of videos.
Okay.
Even during the lockdown, for the full lockdown where we couldn't even leave the house at all, I closed 5 deals during the lockdown.
Wow.
Over the phone. Everything over the phone.
Okay.
Videos, sending people that were able to take permits to go to places they went. They were ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's all going on live viewings now. So people will basically see the videos and say, okay.
So obviously, the way I can only relate this to my industry, the way that I see it is because of technology. We're going to go from having, 10,000, 5,000 financial advisors to 50 in the UAE. Do you think that's going to happen the same with real estate?
I think that
said there's 6,000.
I think that the COVID situation is already pushing a lot of brokers that are not performing in the right way out of the market, which I have nothing wrong with. I am happy for this to happen.
Yeah.
And by these kind of brokers, I mean the ones that have got fake listings.
Yeah.
So if you go and search for a property somewhere,
I've seen that.
the first 30 listings are fake.
That's
and
ridiculous.
for agents that don't do it, it's like so painful, because by the time the buyer gets to you, they're like, oh, but hold on, you've got one for 2 million, there's one for 1.6, but there isn't.
Yeah.
So you know, even if that buyer's called you, they're still going to and call these agents.
That's basically
it's so painful.
That's like naughty, dirty,
so
untransparent
painful.
Sales tactics.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be allowed, right?
But the thing is, land department, property finder, everyone's trying to control it, but it's nearly impossible to do it. And the only way it will be, there's so many regulations coming into place with signed forms and all of these things. But the only way to truly stop it is when these agents actually leave the market. Like, a lot of companies have already closed down. A lot of companies have merged.
I think, it's in every industry. Things like as we've been explaining, social media is becoming more transparent. So I've always gone in the belief, and I do believe this, that the people that are really passionate about what they're doing,
I agree with this.
the people that really want to go further in that particular field, the people that are willing to go the extra mile will make it happen. These people that are just trying to, that, to me, those tactics, they are quick buck tactics. Correct. They're people that like, I want to make quick money.
I don't care about the client. I just want to get to the end goal. I just want to sell the house. Whereas the actual, when you're looking at the transaction as a whole, your transaction should be, okay, you're helping a seller, and you know that if you help that seller, they're living in a community. I work in villa communities. So if I sell someone's villa and I give them a good service, they're going to go and tell. I don't need to ask them for referrals. They are going to go and tell their friends about me, and their friends are going to contact me. Same with a buyer. But if you do all these dodgy tactics and they've called you and the listing's fake, and then you're trying to say, oh, come meet me, just meet me for a chat, what a load of nonsense.
It's desperation mode.
It is. This is the problem that we're seeing now.
Again, that's about
very desperate.
I think that's a product issue, right? Because I was talking about how product needs to be improved, the service needs to be improved. When people are using those tactics, they're not bothered about improving a product or service. They're just trying to get
as much as they can, as quickly.
As much as they can, in front of someone to get as much as they can as quickly as possible, which is a problem.
But if you do look back, I mean, talking like from when freehold properties started being actually ready available in the UAE, everything has changed so much. Like, even from the land department being all transferred in one place, now we've got trustee offices all over Dubai where they're servicing. We've got contracts online now which you have to accept as a buyer and a seller. They are slowly, making things run better, and these kind of brokers are being pushed out. So this is what we see. I mean, is the future going to be robots selling you a house and a thing there? I don't really see it, because I think people want a personal touch.
It's the same with financial advice. There needs to be that things are going to go, the way that I see it anyway, is that things will go online more and more. You'll be able to facilitate the majority of the processes online, but the world is not ready for that non-human element.
Agree.
There needs to be that human element.
True.
So I think that there's definitely still a place for, in every industry, 99% of industries, that there's that human element, particularly in service-driven things. I think.
I feel also from this whole COVID situation, what I'm really seeing is that it will become more of a monopoly. So all the bigger companies will basically dominate, rather than there being so many smaller companies. Like, if you look at aviation, if you look at other industries. So I can see the same happening for my industry, definitely. I think that it will be the bigger companies that kind of stand up from this, because there's still so much activity out there.
The bigger companies can survive, right? But it's the if you want to, I believe, in this post-COVID-19 era, the way that you're going to have to be able, if you're a relatively small business, or someone that's trying to grow like myself, you're going to have to have impact by utilising technology and improving. Exactly that. You can't just do the same thing and expect to get a different result, right? The market is evolving, things are changing, so you need to analyse, okay, what is the evolution, what are the changes that are happening, and how do I adapt to that, and how do I act to that to put myself in that position where I can still be there with the big guys, right? I'm not.
Exactly.
I'm not. I've gone down a route where I'm on my own in a certain way, right?
But you're having such an impact on your own because you're putting yourself out there and you're helping people in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think this goes back to especially what you said. If you're passionate about something, it shows, and you can make a difference in any field.
And people
if
will buy
you're
from that.
genuinely here for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I've been successful in my career, because I genuinely love houses and I'm passionate about property.
Yeah.
I'm not here like, oh, how can I make money?
Yeah.
That isn't. Yes, I want to make money for freedom, like you said, but it isn't my end goal.
Should be your primary
and
driver.
helping people is one of the most important things.
If you like our videos, or like this video, press the subscribe button, follow myself, follow Jade, and she'll have more content in her field and I'll have more content in mine, and we'll be helping a lot more people out there. Thanks.
Thanks.